Okay, so growing up, I was always drawn to the unknown, and curiosity was a good friend. Like all things in my life, my journey with art started with my love for the human mind. You can see the popping eyes, 4 months old. That's me all my life. I studied to become a psychologist. It was 2005 when psychology wasn't woke or cool. But I was 15 years old, and knowing that there's a subject you can study and read people's minds, wow, that was like a doorway to Narnia. I wanted to be that person. My first role as a full-time counselor took me to working with children in a school. And as luck would have it, in my first week as the counselor, a 6-year-old girl was sent to my office. Her problematic behavior was that she was non-obedient, had temper tantrums, and was restless. Let's call her B. My sessions with B started. I still remember her, those curly hair, chubby cheek at kids. That was B, a perpetual dimple smile, but non-expressiveness in her eyes. I would keep a pack of crayons and sketch pens in my office, and B would come in, use the art material, draw. She would spontaneously talk about unmeaningful things like what she got for tiffin, her fight with her younger brother, the teachers, the classmates. And there was a lot of chirpiness and carefreeness in her voice and in her talks, but that did not show in what she would draw. Her drawings, I would see, were very abstract, chaotic, mingled together. The formations on the page almost as if they're trying to eat themselves up. The lines were so dark. When I would ask her about these drawings, she would say random things or unrelated things. So I knew she was telling me something, I just did not know what. So I went to my mentors and I asked them what's happening here. And we realized that she was telling me the story of her trauma. Her trauma of being sexually abused by her uncle. So there were phallic symbols, there were knives with bloods, there was a crying teddy that were in her drawings. That was the first time I realized the power of art and how it can express, how it can show us what's happening inside even when words fall short. That was 10 years back. I went on to study expressive arts therapy, and I realized that we have a world inside us, the human design, which can only and only be accessed when it is externalized. During my training, of course, I had to go through the entire roller coaster ride, because if I'm making other people safe and vulnerable and naked and, oh, come talk to me, I had to do the work first. So the shame voice that I can't draw, and I still can't draw, I'm not an artist. If I'm drawing something ugly, does that mean I'm ugly inside? You know, that voice of shame, I had to shut it down, receive it with love and compassion, and go through my own journey. But the true magic really with art is that even when you reach out and access those hidden, dark, maybe stuck parts and express them, they come out so beautiful. There's magic in that entire process. So what is art therapy? I'll just do a little bit of psychoeducation here. Art therapy is basically using any kind of visual art, painting, drawing, sculpting, crafting, collaging, in order to express emotions, increase self-awareness, and overall health and healing. How we use art in human design. So when we do an art therapy session, we'll always have a lot of art material. So when you come in, the art material you choose and you select also tells us so much about your internal emotional bandwidth. So if there's sketch pens and color pencils, it's a smaller emotional bandwidth. If you choose crayons and oil pastels, you're in touch with your feelings but not completely accepting. Then there's acrylic, there's water paints, and it goes on. When you're working with your inner child, working with clay, it's so sensorial, it's so kinesthetic, really is a regressive state and takes us back into our childhood. Over the years, I've designed hundreds of sessions and worked with many people and witnessed incredible moments. Working with women from a village in Rajasthan, we designed this session where the women drew their life stories on a piece of white sari. And after reflection, they wore the saris with a lot of pride. One woman I recall had torn parts in her sari that represented her lost selves. Working with at-risk children in an NGO in Aurobindo in Pondicherry, a child drew a black and white self-portrait. After the sessions over weeks, On the last day, the child filled colors in his self-portrait, and he said, "Ab mere andar colors aa gaye," which translates to now I have colors in me. Yeah, there's so many examples. A woman processing her grief through bold, chaotic strokes. A girl externalizing her anger and realizing it's shame. A corporate team using collaborative paintings to rebuild trust. A vacation group in Manali sitting down to create intuitive art. A couple session where we work together to create a 3D structure of their relationship dynamics. Each session reminds me of why I chose this path. Each session shows me a glimpse of the infinity of the human design. Today I also teach art therapy, and it feels like a full circle, a mandala. I still think about Bee. She must be 16 now, a young adult ready to take on the world. I pray for her, I wish for her, I hope she's okay, and I hope she didn't stop drawing. And yeah, before I end, maybe I want to take us all through a little exercise. If you guys will. Maybe we'll do a little check-in with ourselves. So just taking a deep breath, close your eyes, check in, asking yourself how you're feeling. Imagine if there were a box of crayons next to you, intuitively reaching out to a color that feels most aligned. And if using that color you had to draw a shape that represents how you're feeling right now, what would that shape be? Thank you.